if this message has reached you, it's not by chance. You are being called by something greater. Something inside you knows that a reunion is approaching. Do you feel it? Your heart tightens. Your soul is restless. The universe is whispering, get ready, because something sacred is about to happen. But there is something you urgently need to do. And no, it's not about chasing anyone. It's something deeper, more true, and absolutely transformative. Welcome to this soul space where everything invisible begins to make sense. Here we talk about healing, true love, spiritual awakening, and the intense journey of twin flames. If you're going through silence, separation, doubts, or premonitions, this video is for you. Subscribe to the channel now and activate the notification bell, because what we are going to reveal here could completely change your perspective and perhaps your destiny. Do you feel you are about to reunite with someone who never left your heart? Do you sense something, but don't understand what is coming? Do you want to understand the reason for this silence, this burning longing, this connection that never dies? Today we will dive deep into this. There is an urgent call being made to your soul, and if you ignore it, you may delay everything that is about to manifest. Get ready, take a deep breath, and come with me, because the truth will touch your soul. You feel that something has changed. It's as if the world looks the same on the outside, but inside, everything has crumbled. That gaze that once anchored you is now absent. That presence that seemed eternal has turned into silence. Your heart beats harder at certain moments, as if sensing that something is about to happen. But at the same time, the mind screams, is it over? It's hard to explain to someone outside what it feels like in a soul connection, because it's not just longing. It's as if a part of you has gone away with the other person. You try to move on, try to forget, try to convince yourself that it was all a mistake, but something inside insists. You feel when the other person is thinking of you. You feel when they dream of you. You even feel when they want to come back, but can't, because this bond is more than emotional. It is spiritual. Maybe you are experiencing this moment right now, a distance that seems inexplicable, an absence that has no concrete reason. Everything was going so well, and suddenly, the connection seems to vanish. The soul moans softly in the depths of the chest, pleading for answers. You try to understand. Was it my fault? Did I do something wrong? Did they get tired? Was it all an illusion? The pain of separation from a twin flame is unlike any other. It shakes your identity, your life purpose, the axis of existence. It's as if the soul has been stripped bare, placed before a mirror, and forced to see everything that still hurts, everything that still needs to be healed. Often those going through this process start to isolate themselves. They feel that no one understands, and indeed few understand, because we are not talking about any love. We are talking about a reunion of souls that have known each other for lifetimes. We are talking about a spiritual mission that intertwines with the truest love that exists, the one that transforms you, confronts you, awakens you. You may even try to escape the pain. You may try to erase the memories, block the person, occupy your mind. But at some point in the silence, they return. Not as just any memory, but as a presence, a sensation, a vibration that transcends dimensions. Because twin flames do not extinguish with distance. They burn, even when separated. And then you ask yourself, why is this happening now? Why, just when I truly surrendered, does everything seem to crumble? Does this connection still exist? Or was it just in my head? And if the reunion is real, what is separating me from it? These questions are not signs of weakness. They are portals. They are the beginning of a deep call being made to your soul. A call that says, you are ready to remember who you are. And this remembering is not just about the other. It's about you. About everything this journey came to teach you, even through pain. Maybe you are feeling the weight of silence and absence as a punishment. But what if, in fact, it is a preparation? What if the universe is organizing everything, inside and out, for this reunion to happen in a true and definitive way? Yes, the meeting is near, but it will not come until something inside you changes. And that is exactly what we are going to talk about now. There is a pain that has no name, that does not show up in tests, that no one sees, but that consumes you inside. It is the type of pain that only those who live a true soul connection know. It is not a common longing. It is a pain of a soul disconnected from its origin, from its mission, from its most intimate mirror. And this disconnection does not only come from the absence of the other, but from the internal separation it causes. It's as if something inside you has been split in half, and everything you try to do to distract yourself seems empty. The truth is that, on a spiritual level, nothing breaks by chance, and no separation between twin flames happens without purpose. No matter how confusing it seems now, this distance has a greater reason. And no matter how much your ego screams for answers and control, your spirit already knows. Silence is not the end. It is the beginning of true awakening. Many times, separation occurs because there is something that needs to be broken. The illusion of idealized love, of control, of dependence, of the idea that the other is responsible for your completeness. And that hurts, because the ego does not want to lose what makes it feel special. The ego wants security, guarantees, constant presence. But the soul wants liberation. And when the soul wants to evolve, everything that binds you is put to the test, including the way you love. At this point in the journey, many get lost. They think they have been abandoned. They think the other has changed. But in reality, what is being revealed is who you really are. The connection between twin flames is not meant to massage the ego. It comes to tear the veil of illusion and put you face to face with your essence. You begin to see more clearly the patterns, fears, emotional games, and childhood wounds that still live within you. And you realize that, as long as you continue to seek in the other the cure for what is yours, the reunion cannot happen, because the vibration of need does not sustain the frequency of true love. Perhaps you are tired now, tired of feeling, waiting, trying to understand. But what if what is happening is not a punishment, but a response? What if the universe is not separating you from your flame, but putting you in front of yourself so that you can truly find yourself again? What many do not understand is that the end in a twin flame journey is never definitive. What ends is not love. What dies is what was contaminated. Attachment, fear, idealization. When a true connection collapses, it is because something needs to be healed in each person before the union can be elevated. At that moment, the universe does not just listen to your words. It feels your energy. And if within you there is still charge, pain, despair, or control, that vibrates as resistance. And where there is resistance, there is no space for love to flow. That is why you feel that something is stuck. Because there is a part of you that still wants to control time, the path, the outcome. But soul love is not something that is forced. It is something that is allowed, and for that, you need to let go. You need to trust. You need to let life burn everything that is a lie, so that truth can blossom. This phase of the journey is like crossing a desert. You are alone, thirsty for answers, missing the other, afraid of what is to come. But it is in the desert that prophets meet God. It is in the void that the soul hears what it could never hear amidst the noise. And perhaps this is your moment to listen. Listen to yourself. Listen to the truth. Listen to the call. Yes, the reunion is near, but it will not happen the way you expect. It will come when you are ready to love without fear, without charge, without attachment. And for that, something needs to die within you. Something that the universe is trying to show you now, through the silence of the other. It is not punishment. It is preparation. It is not the end. It is purification. It is not absence. It is revelation. The question is, are you willing to cross this desert to finally find your true self? There comes a moment when pain no longer teaches with screams, but with silence. And that is where true healing begins, when the noise of questions ceases and the heart, tired of fighting against what it does not understand, surrenders. It is not a surrender of weakness. It is a sacred surrender. It is when you realize that you no longer have the strength to maintain control, nor reasons to continue distancing yourself from yourself. It is when, at last, you accept to look within. What many do not know is that the reunion between twin flames begins in the invisible. Before it happens physically, it needs to happen within you. And this inner reconnection is not made of anxiety, of charges, of obsessive waiting. It is made of silence, of pause, of deep listening, because only in silence can you hear your soul and perceive what is still misaligned, what is still vibrating in scarcity, what is still trying to control the flow of love. Healing happens when you stop fighting against what is, when you honor the time of life, the time of the other, and above all, your own time. When you understand that nothing wrong is happening, there is only a divine reorganization, a deep energetic adjustment to prepare the ground for reunion. And yes, this adjustment may seem painful. It may feel like absence, abandonment, loss, but in reality, it is realignment. It is purification. It is the universe clearing everything that can no longer sustain what is to come. Many people think they need to do something to speed up the return of the twin flame. But what they have not yet realized is that the most powerful movement is to let go. Let go of urgency. Let go of illusion. Let go of the need for immediate return. Because when you let go, you allow the flow of true love to operate. And that love is not in a hurry. It has wisdom. In this process, withdrawal is not isolation. It is spiritual nourishment. It is you returning to inhabit your inner temple, reorganizing your thoughts, cleansing your emotions, reconnecting with your own source of energy. It is in this sacred space that healing happens, and with it, awakening. Because when you start to feel whole again, something magical happens. You stop seeking the other as a salvation and begin to vibrate as someone who has already found their own center. And it is exactly this change of frequency that prepares for the reunion. Because when you vibrate in your essence, you become magnetic. Your twin flame feels it. Even from afar, they feel it. Because the connection between you is made of soul. And when one soul aligns, the other listens. Even if they are still confused, even if they are still struggling with their own fears, the energy of your healing touches the other's field and begins to operate there too, in silence. It's not about forcing the reunion. It's about becoming the reunion. It's about you being the very bridge between what was and what is to come. This is the true alchemy of twin flames, the love that transforms before it unites. And when the union happens, it will not be based on need, dependency, or fear. It will be a union between two beings who have chosen each other freely, wholly, and spiritually mature. You are not wasting time by being alone. You are being rebuilt. You are being purified. You are being realigned with your highest purpose. And everything that seems stagnant now is actually moving behind the scenes of life. Silence is not empty. Silence is sacred. It is in this silence that true love strengthens. Embrace this phase, not as a punishment, but as a privilege. Few have the opportunity to live a love that transforms before it unites. And you are living this, not because you were forgotten, but because you were chosen for something bigger. Yes, the reunion is near, but it will come in accordance with your surrender. The more you align with your truth, the closer you are to experiencing the love that has always been yours, by soul. Right, there comes a moment, after all the pain, after the silence, after the emptiness, when something inside you awakens. It doesn't happen all at once. It's subtle, almost imperceptible at first, but you start to feel that you are no longer the same person who cried every day, seeking answers. You begin to realize that there is a new strength emerging within your chest, a strength that does not come from the other. It comes from you. It is your higher self calling you back home. This is the turning point in the twin flame journey, when you stop living in function of the absence of the other and begin to live in the presence of yourself. When you stop asking, "Oh, why did they pull away?" and start asking, "Who am I when I am whole?" And in this reunion with your essence, everything changes, because what was once need transforms into power. What was once despair transforms into wisdom. What was once attachment transforms into presence. You begin to remember that you are not here just to love someone. You are here to be a channel of love, to be a source, to be light. And there is nothing more magnetic than someone who vibrates in this consciousness, because true spiritual power does not shout, does not beg, does not chase. It simply is. It attracts. It emanates. It transforms the environment just by existing. In this state, you become a living manifestation of your soul, and it is then that the reunion with your twin flame approaches. Not because you are asking for it, but because you have become it. You have become love. You have become healing. You have become presence. And energy does not lie. When two souls that vibrate at the same frequency recognize each other, life takes care of uniting them effortlessly. But it must be said sometimes, at this point in the journey, you no longer desire the reunion in the same way, because you understood that the purpose was much greater than being with someone. The purpose was to remember who you are. And when this happens, love transforms. It does not disappear. It simply changes form. It ceases to be a prison and becomes freedom. It ceases to be waiting and becomes existence. It ceases to be dependence and becomes communion. You no longer need to prove anything, not to yourself, nor to the other. You no longer need to chase after answers, because you have become the answer. You no longer need to seek signs from the universe, because now you are the very sign. This is what happens when the higher self takes the lead. You step out of fear and into trust. You step out of despair and into fluidity. You step out of doubt and into the silent certainty that everything is exactly as it should be. And do you know what is the most beautiful part? When you reach this point, your twin flame feels it, because you are connected beyond time and space. When one awakens, the other is touched. When one aligns, the other is called to do the same. Even if they are still far away, even if they are still in denial, the energy cannot be ignored. And this activates a new cycle, not of repetition, but of rebirth. Now you no longer need promises. You no longer need proofs. You know who you are. You know what you came here to do. And you know that true love is not about filling a void. It's about sharing an abundance. And this abundance is already within you. This is the turning point. This is the moment when life changes. Because when you reconnect with your higher self, everything around begins to align. People leave, doors close, paths open, all to keep you centered in your truth. And the more you remain faithful to this truth, the more the universe conspires to bring you everything that is rightfully yours. Yes, the reunion is near, but now he is no longer your destination. He is just a consequence of your transformation. The love that once made you suffer now strengthens you. The absence that once broke you has now built you. And the journey that seemed like a loss was actually the greatest reunion of your life. The reunion with yourself. Getting here wasn't easy. You crossed layers of pain, faced the most cutting silence, dove into the darkest emptiness of the soul. And even so, something inside you chose to continue, chose to trust, chose to seek meaning where there seemed to be nothing. And this silent courage, this surrender that no one saw, but that you lived, is exactly what is reconfiguring your entire reality. You may not see it yet with your eyes, but your soul already knows. Something is changing. What once seemed like the end now begins to show that it was just the beginning of a sacred reconstruction. What once paralyzed you now propels you. You are no longer the same. You went through the fire, through the dark night, through unanswered questions, and found something that no one can take from you, your awakened essence. And this is where everything is reborn, because now you know that the reunion with your twin flame does not depend on luck, time, or external circumstances. It depends on how present you are in your own light, and this presence begins to attract everything that resonates with it, including love, the true love, the one that recognizes, respects, sustains, and expands. Perhaps the other is still in silence. Perhaps the other is still fleeing. But that does not diminish you, because you are no longer waiting for someone to save you. You have found yourself. And from this place of completeness, of spiritual maturity, and unconditional love, you can do anything, including love, even from a distance, including letting go, even while wishing for reunion, including moving on, even without guarantees. And it is exactly for this reason that the universe begins to open invisible doors, because the vibration of your healed soul is a call that cannot be ignored. It crosses walls, touches hearts, moves realities. And where there is truth, the path reveals itself. Now I invite you to take a deep breath, to close your eyes for a moment, and to feel this presence within you. Feel how much you have evolved. Feel how you no longer need to hide, how much you can now trust, because what is yours by divine alliance, no one can take away. Do not be afraid of what is to come. Have faith in who you are becoming. The reunion is near, yes, but the greatest gift of this journey is that before encountering the other, you have encountered yourself, and this is the foundation of everything. If this message touched your soul, subscribe now to the channel, like this video, and share it with someone who also needs to hear this. Your energy here strengthens this chain of healing and awakening. And tell me in the comments, in what part of this journey are you today? Do you feel that you are reuniting with yourself? Do you feel that the other is still connected to you, even from a distance? Let's create a space for sharing in the comments, because you are not alone. We are walking together, even in silence. And the truth is, where there is soul, there is connection. Where there is purpose, there is reunion. And where there is love, there is eternity. I will end with a phrase I carry with me and leave for you today. When the soul awakens, love no longer needs to be sought. It simply happens because you have become love itself.